What's going on, guys? Chunky back here on my channel for yet another episode of Throwback Thursdays, something I haven't actually done in a while. Throwback Thursdays is a segment where I pick something old school and talk about why you should get out there and watch it. With that being said, guys, Blade Runner 2049 is the long-awaited sequel to the 1982 original directed by Ridley Scott. Now, Blade Runner 2049 is actually in theaters as of today, as of the time that I'm recording this, so I thought, why not talk about the original, why it's good, why it's important to cinema and sci-fi films alike, and why you should go and watch it. This film is one of the best sci-fi films ever made. Now, I know recently it's been in the limelight with the sequel obviously coming out, but definitely it's something that has always been around. It's been in pop culture and you might not know it, but a lot of films since the 1982 original have taken inspiration from Blade Runner one way or another. So what the hell is Blade Runner all about? So Blade Runner stars actor Harrison Ford as character Rick Deckard. Rick Deckard plays a Blade Runner. Now, a Blade Runner is basically a police officer or a detective that is designed for the sole purpose of taking out replicants. What are replicants, you ask? Basically, replicants are human androids built by a corporation, more specifically the Tyrell Corporation. Now, replicants were built as slaves, basically to partake in manual labor. After replicants have been around for a while, replicants started turning on their masters and basically committing violent acts and basically becoming criminals. For that reason, replicants are not allowed on Earth anymore. A replicant found solely on Earth is punishable by death. So enter the Blade Runner. The Blade Runner, or Harrison Ford's character Rick Deckard, is assigned to investigate and basically retire or kill by any means necessary these certain replicants that have been seen or rumored to be living on Earth. That is the story in a brief nutshell. Now, the reason why I like this film is obviously goes beyond that the simple description of the story. Blade Runner just did so many things that we should be thankful for in film today. As a sci-fi film, it's got amazing real-life environments. This isn't CGI, it's all miniatures, it's handcrafted, it's made to be in front of a camera, and it just looks great. It's not a future that I would want to live in, but it's definitely a future that I could see society living in. It's very cramped, claustrophobic, it's busy, it's bustling, it is just realistic. It feels like it's alive. There's a lot of great lighting, there's a lot of cool kind of billboards and posters and animatronics that you see on the side of buildings. It makes the city feel that much more lived in, and for that it's just great to look at the whole way through. On top of that, what I just described as the story is basically a base level. It is an entry level into going into this film, but the story asks a lot more questions about what it means to be alive, what it means to be human, what it means to feel, what it means to basically want to live, and kind of tackles very lightly kind of an issue of race, an issue of gender, an issue of overall identity. I would watch this film multiple times to really get the hang of it. I feel like while it's a sci-fi film, it's very much a philosophical film, like something like The Matrix. It's not that action-oriented, but it's definitely something that's going to make you think about the larger picture, about our context and our society, and if it slightly mirrors something that we can see and we see as sci-fi. It's really hard to talk about this film without going into spoilers, but basically, it's just a landmark in cinema. It did a lot of things well, and it does a lot of things well to this very day. Now, a brief history about Blade Runner. Blade Runner was actually commercially and critically panned upon release, and there are multiple versions of the film that you can watch. The cinematic original version, the director's cut by Ridley Scott, and the overall final cut released in 2007. And I would say, in my personal opinion, to go out and get the final cut. It is the version that you would see on Blu-ray. If you do buy it on DVD, I do believe you'll be getting the director's cut, but the final cut is the one you should watch. It trims off all the fat and makes everything straight to the point. Even though there's a lot to unpack, it's the best version of the film that you can watch today. Overall, guys, I think you know where I'm going with this. Blade Runner is a must watch, and I'm sorry that I might not have explained it in such a detailed way, but it is a film that you need to watch. It's a film that raises a lot of questions to this very day about identity and belonging, and I still think that it's very important. And with that said, I've heard a lot of good things about Blade Runner 2049, so if it's anything as good as Blade Runner, then I've got nothing to complain about. That's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like down below. If you've seen Blade Runner, if you're planning on watching Blade Runner 2049, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And overall, guys, please subscribe to my channel. You were doing me a huge favor. Thank you so much for stopping by Chunky's World. I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.